process?
Absolutely. Well, first, I think it's fair to say, within our company, I wanted the data from the tool, and I wanted to be able to go in those meetings and prove to our prospective clients, our current clients, that we were delivering what we were setting out to achieve in terms of quality, in terms of delivery, in terms of building those relationships. But I was very, very cynical. I have to admit, going in the first time, I thought this would be a one and done exercise. I was one of those engineers that sort of said, well, I don't really want to bother the client. You know, they have a lot on their plate. They have a gazillion emails a day, the same as I do. I don't really want to do it. But I sort of forced myself to do it, and sort of very much ended up, somewhat by design, somewhat by being voluntold, for being the point of contact for the program within Gate. And once people saw me buy in as sort of the arch cynic of the group, then many people fell into line. So we didn't face some of the challenges that perhaps many companies do, where they bring this in as a new tool and it's hard to develop converts through the company. I was sort of the toughest nut to crack, and I cracked myself pretty much.
Do you remember the day you cracked?
Pretty much, yeah. It was very much, we sent out the first round of surveys, and we've never made a distinction in terms of size of client, length of contract. This is something we offer to everyone, whether it's $10,000, whether it's 10 million. Because as Terry said, you never know when those small accounts are going to balloon into something that's truly significant. And in fact, part of the reason for this is to try and build those relationships to make those small accounts balloon. So we sent it out, and we heard good stuff back on the whole. And that was fine. It's like, hey, we expected to hear good stuff because we're wonderful and blinkered and think we're great. But there were a couple of projects where the very first round of scores came back and it was below met expectations. And our tendency was to go, or my tendency, to be fair, was to go, that's just that client. And I sort of maintained that attitude for probably a couple of hours before I actually got some sense, and I thought about it a little bit more. And again, it comes back to that point that your client holds your relationship, holds your the vision of your company. You don't. And once I got that, then we were all over them in terms of give us more feedback, give us some details. And they've continued to be very, very strong clients over the years.